Sunlight streams into a Manhattan high-rise apartment. From the 38th floor penthouse window, Central Park's greenery stretches as far as the eye can see. I'm Taylor Martinez, 35 years old. As usual, I was making an omelet in the kitchen. Always bring the eggs to room temperature first. I remind myself while carefully beating organic eggs. Moving around with my 8-month pregnant belly is a bit challenging, but I won't compromise on making the perfect breakfast for my husband, Aaron. Yesterday's eggs were too runny. My husband's sudden voice from behind makes me freeze. I'm sorry, I'll be more careful today. Aaron, dressed in the latest Corneliani suit, sits in his usual spot and opens the Wall Street Journal. As a fund manager at the investment bank, Manhattan Capital, he always starts his weekday mornings checking the newspaper and Bloomberg stock prices. Your cooking has improved over the years. That's because of my strict guidance. Looking pleased with himself, Aaron pulls out documents from his expensive black leather briefcase. I'll be late tonight. Preparing for the promotion review. I understand. You won't need dinner then. I carefully heat the pan and drop in butter, pouring in the creamy eggs. While chopping black truffles from a small Upper East Side delicatessen, I find myself reminiscing about our meeting 8 years ago. At a friend's wedding party. In the Plaza Hotel's grand ballroom, he happened to sit next to me, and from the start, he was the perfect gentleman. His dining etiquette, conversation skills, and demeanor were all refined, and I was instantly captivated. However, after marriage, I realized that perfection came from a personality that was extremely demanding of both himself and others. Why are you always so absent-minded? Aaron's voice brings me back to reality. I plate the omelet, carefully arranging the asparagus and cherry tomatoes alongside it. I'm sorry. I was thinking about the baby. At those words, Aaron's expression softened slightly. I see. I'm going to be a father soon. His voice is unusually gentle. But he quickly reverts to his usual stern expression. Who's the writer you're meeting with today? John Smith. For his new book. Another man. I stand by the window, adjusting the hem of my dress from Bloomingdale's. The high-quality maternity fabric gently wraps around my skin. Following Aaron's words that appearance matters, I maintain my standards even during pregnancy. I check my smartphone calendar. Today there's an editorial meeting at 10, followed by a lunch meeting with John at noon. I've been told to choose high-end restaurants like Per Se for meetings with authors. My wife shouldn't conduct business at cheap establishments. That's another one of my husband's strict rules. While fixing my hair in front of the mirror, I reflected on Aaron's recent behavior. As the promotion review approaches, he's become increasingly harsh with his subordinates. I heard that just the other day, a new employee left the office in tears. The strong survive. The weak should leave. That was my husband's belief. Having received elite education at top schools since childhood and always being expected to be at the top, he lacks kindness and empathy towards others. The same applies to me. His cold gaze when I fail to meet his expectations for perfection still sends chills down my spine. On my way to the entrance, my eyes catch a stack of documents on the living room desk. It's unusual for my meticulous husband to forget papers. The baby moves again in my belly. Still unbelievable. A life finally granted after 3 years of fertility treatments. Aaron was happy at first, but lately, he hates using pregnancy as an excuse. Pregnancy isn't an illness has become his catchphrase. I step into the elevator and press the button. The private elevator with its fine leather scent is exclusively for penthouse residents. As usual, I smile at the security camera when getting off. The 24-hour security is another one of my husband's thorough requirements. Good morning, Mrs. Martinez. In the lobby, Michael the concierge greets me with his usual gentle smile. That's a lovely dress today. Thank you, though I think my belly's gotten a bit bigger. Only 1 month until your due date, right? How exciting. These simple conversations somehow put me at ease. These casual morning greetings with Michael are my secret pleasure. Though I keep that from my husband. Stepping outside, an early summer breeze caresses my cheeks. The Upper East Side streets are most beautiful at this hour. High-end boutique displays glisten in the morning sun, and Central Park's trees shimmer with new greenery. Just as I'm about to hail a taxi, my smartphone rings. A message from Aaron. Verify your lunch plans. Meeting alone with a man is not acceptable. A familiar suffocating message. My fingers tremble slightly as I reply. I understand. My assistant will be present. Even this lie has become routine now. When I returned home to Manhattan at dusk after the editorial meeting, the living room was still dark. This has become the norm lately. From the 38th floor window, office building lights twinkled like stars. An unread message left on my phone. Working late. Don't need dinner. I reheat dinner ordered from a Croatian restaurant alone. Even knowing it's too much strain on my 8-month pregnant body, I can't expect to dine with my husband. At 2 a.m., the front door finally opens. The unusual scent of whiskey wafts in, something he never normally drinks. You're still up. Aaron's voice carries an unfamiliar irritation. I was worried about you. Don't pry unnecessarily. Aaron pulls documents from his briefcase and heads to his desk. Though he must be tired, he apparently intends to work more. His back looks somehow like a stranger's. Give me your phone. At the sudden demand, I reflexively clutch my smartphone to my chest. Why hesitate? Do you have something to hide? No, it's just so sudden. Unable to withstand his cold gaze, I unlock the passcode and hand it over. Aaron immediately opens the messaging app and begins scrolling. He scrutinizes the message history with my assigned authors. Too many meetings. Is this really work? Of course. The deadline for the new book. What about this history? Why is it deleted? I didn't delete anything. Must be an app glitch. Such a convenient excuse. At that moment, the baby moves vigorously. Ouch. But Aaron's eyes don't leave the screen. With his promotion review next week, my husband's neurotic behavior had reached its peak. When I go to pick him up at the office, I see young employees running out in tears. All the surrounding subordinates avert their eyes. We're leaving. Aaron's voice overflows with anger. In the elevator, my husband is messaging someone. I catch a glimpse of the recipient's name, Lindsay. What are you looking at? Pierced by his sharp gaze, I hurriedly look away. At home, my husband transforms like a different person. Sudden outbursts. Excessive interference in friendships. Midnight soliloquies. They must understand my worth. You'll definitely get it. You're. Of course. No one can betray me. I'm perfect. My husband speaks to me in an unusually calm voice from the living room sofa. How's the baby? Before I can feel relieved, unexpected words follow. It is my child, right? I'm at a loss for words. What are you saying? Of course it is. Is that so, right? He stares at the night view, swirling ice in his glass with vacant eyes. Late at night, just as I'm dozing off, the sound of a desk drawer opening. Amid hurried rustling, I slightly open my eyes. Aaron frantically picking up scattered photos from a fallen envelope. Images of him with a woman. I pretend not to see and close my eyes, but my heart is racing. At breakfast. Aaron, perfectly dressed in a navy suit, unusually pauses. Are you free tomorrow at noon? My heart races at the sudden invitation. Yes, if I cancel the meeting with the author. I've made a reservation at Skyline. Why this special restaurant that we didn't even use for our anniversary? I have something important to tell you. Is this anxiety maternal instinct? The baby moves more vigorously than usual. Scattered documents in the living room. Late night calls. Obsession with the promotion review. A woman named Lindsay. And the photos. Everything seems connected yet disconnected. An important conversation at a restaurant with a beautiful view. Is it really an important conversation? Suddenly remembered. Last night's news. Reports of a fall from a high-rise building continued this morning. Why won't this ominous feeling go away? The next day at breakfast, Aaron was unusually quiet. Yesterday's announcement of lunch at Skyline. An important conversation. Those words won't leave my mind. Your makeup is too light. At my husband's sudden criticism, I instinctively look in the mirror. Do it again. Today is an important day. My hands tremble slightly as I redo my makeup as told. The baby moves more vigorously than usual. Aaron grooms himself with unusual care. His navy suit is perfect down to the cuffs. 12:30, don't be late. Leaving these brief words, my husband departs. The clock hands seem painfully slow. Drinking a green smoothie in our Upper East Side home, the ominous feeling just won't disappear. 11:45 a.m. I get into the arranged Uber. Congratulations on your pregnancy. The driver's voice seems distant. Looking up at the buildings while heading south on Fifth Avenue. The Pinnacle Building. Summer sunlight pours through the lobby made entirely of floor-to-ceiling glass. Wind blowing through the canyon of skyscrapers rustles the hem of my white dress. 12:25 p.m. Perfect timing. Reservation for Aaron Martinez. This way, please. 38th floor. Terrace seating with a panoramic view of New York City. Strong wind strikes my cheeks. It feels like floating in midair. Far below, people move like ants, and the Hudson River gleams silver. Sorry to keep you waiting. Turning to the voice behind me. It's my usual husband, yet somehow like a stranger. Shall I bring some wine? My wife is pregnant. Water is fine. Aaron's voice echoes hollowly. My husband sits silently. Today, when he should be waiting for the promotion review results. But his expression is different. Some other emotion seems to be swirling. The result. I break the silence. No response. My husband walks slowly to the terrace railing and looks down at Manhattan. I know everything. His eyes when he turns around held a madness I'd never seen before. Your betrayal too. Betrayal? What are you? Shut up. Aaron's shout disappears on the wind. His knuckles turn white gripping the railing. I have proof. Aaron takes out his smartphone. Your relationship with the writer. Evidence of secret meetings. My husband shows me photo after photo with trembling hands. That's wrong. Those were work. At that moment, the baby moved strongly inside me. As I clutch my belly with both hands, Aaron takes a step closer. In the bright sunlight, my husband's expression twists. That child isn't mine. The cold railing touches my back as I step backward. 38th floor. Neither people's voices nor car horns reach this height. Please, think about the baby. A desperate cry. Trembling hands grasp the railing. Aaron's mouth twists into an eerie smirk. I did think about how to erase the evidence of your betrayal. You'll regret this. A final warning. But my husband's eyes had already lost their reason. Large hands reach toward me. 38th floor. Dress dancing in the wind. Aaron's figure growing distant. And a sensation of time stopping. Strangely calm while falling. I'm sorry. Speaking to the baby in my belly. But I'll definitely protect you. Manhattan skyscrapers slowly fill my vision. The Hudson River's gleam was dazzling. Sudden impact. But not the pain I expected. When I opened my eyes, I was on a window washing gondola. The sound of security guards rushing over. Someone calling an ambulance. She's alive. Get an ambulance. Quickly. She's pregnant. Various voices in confusion. The terrace was already sealed off, with restaurant guests watching through the windows. Aaron was gone. The time until the paramedics arrived felt abnormally long. When I close my eyes, the scene of falling returns. In my last consciousness, the baby moved slightly. Thank you. We are alive. When I woke up in the hospital room at dusk, the monitor was steadily recording heartbeats. Police were watching outside the room. The baby is safe. At the doctor's words, tears of relief finally flowed. Outside the window, Manhattan's sunset reflected off the skyscrapers, making the whole city appear to be burning. In the special room at Columbia University Medical Center, only the monitor's heartbeat rhythm echoed in the quiet room. At dusk, 4 hours had passed since the incident. The baby's condition is stable. Relief tears flow at the doctor's words. A fall from the 38th floor. The window washing gondola saved our lives. Meanwhile, at Manhattan Capitol's office. After the incident, Aaron returned to the office in a panic and confronted Lindsay, who was waiting there. What have you done? Lindsay approaches, crying. Why did you? Shut up. What do you know? It's my fault, I ruined everything. In the high-rise executive office. Lindsay collapses onto the blue velvet sofa. Through the window, the Pinnacle building where the incident occurred is visible. What do you mean? I was pregnant too. With your child. The blood drains from Aaron's face. But I miscarried. I conceived on the same day as your wife. Lindsay's voice trembles. While your wife's pregnancy was going well. I couldn't bear it. You, don't tell me. The photos with the writer, I took them. Making it look like secret meetings. Heavy silence envelopes the two in the luxury office. Aaron drops his whiskey glass. I liked you, but your wife seemed so happy, the baby was healthy. The photos, all of them were your doing. Yes. Edited to suggest an affair. My child. When I saw the news of the incident, I nearly went mad. Lindsay broke down crying. I never thought you would act like that. Aaron takes out his phone with trembling hands. Taylor's number. Wait. What is it? I want to apologize too. I'll tell everything. To the police too. At that moment, Aaron's phone rang. It was the hospital. Mrs. Martinez has regained consciousness. Aaron stares at Lindsay. You'll tell them about our relationship too. Yes, because of me, to your wife, your child. Then, let me ask one last thing. What? Were you really carrying my child? Lindsay silently holds out her smartphone. Hospital diagnosis. Records showing miscarriage. Photos of Taylor's pregnancy test from the same date. To take revenge like this. Lindsay's tears fall on the luxury carpet. Standing by the office window, looking down at twilight Manhattan, Aaron clutched his phone. Taylor, you're alive. Yes. The baby too. Safe. His voice trembles. I understand everything now. Lindsay told me. Lindsay? Yes, my mistress. The air freezes in the luxury office. Lindsay stood frozen near the door. It's unforgivable. But suspecting you was entirely my sin. I was about to be crushed by pressure after missing the promotion. Lindsay took advantage of my weakness. But that's no excuse. The photos were all taken by Lindsay. Following you and the writers' meetings. In the corner of the office, Lindsay shrinks away. Outside the window, Manhattan skyscrapers were dyed in sunset colors. Was she pregnant too? Yes, but she miscarried. So that's why, to me. No. Aaron's voice grows stronger. Pushing you was my madness. No one else is to blame. I'm going to the police now. I see. Make sure to rehabilitate yourself. The phone call ends and heavy silence falls in the office. Let's go, Lindsay says quietly. I'll tell the police everything. About the affair, the photos, everything. The two leave the top floor office. Police officers were already in the hallway. 3 weeks after the incident, labor pains began earlier than expected. The baby's heartbeat is stable. The doctor's voice sounds distant. With each contraction, memories of that day return. The fall from the 38th floor. My husband's mad eyes. And my instinctive reaction to protect the baby. When the first cry echoed, dawn was just breaking outside the window. A 7-pound boy. This tiny life trembles in my arms. Congratulations. This is truly a miraculous birth. At Dr. Brown's words, tears finally flow. Mrs. Martinez. The nurse lowers her voice. A letter from your husband. I won't accept it. I answer immediately. I refuse all visits and letters. Meetings with the lawyer began the day after giving birth. Please proceed with the divorce immediately. I quietly stated from my hospital bed. I don't need any child support. Meetings with the prosecutor continue as well. The trial began after the new year. In the solemn courtroom of Manhattan District Court. The defendant, Aaron Martinez, is hereby charged with attempted murder and harm to an unborn child. The prosecution seeks a sentence of 12 years imprisonment. Aaron in the defendant's cage. No trace remains of the once arrogant investment banker. Taylor. Without looking at him, I continued my testimony. The control and restraint. The obsession with perfection. And the violence disguised as twisted love. The defendant is sentenced to 10 years in prison. With the verdict, the divorce was also finalized. Lindsay received her sentence too. The defendant is sentenced to 2 years imprisonment, suspended for 4 years. As I was leaving the courtroom, she approached me desperately. Please forgive me. But I passed by in silence. I sold the Upper East Side high-rise apartment and moved to an old brownstone in Greenwich Village. A new life began. Mama, where's Papa? I had already decided how to answer that question when my son would eventually ask. We don't have a Papa. No lies. But no truth either. That's the only way to protect my son. The monthly letters from my husband are stored unopened in a box. For the day when my son might want to know the truth. For now, I need time to heal this wounded heart. At the publishing house, I was promoted to senior editor and launched a new project themed Rebirth. It's about stories of domestic violence survivors. I tell the editor-in-chief while presenting the proposal. From controlled women to independent ones. In my new Greenwich Village community, I was warmly welcomed as a single mother. Let's live strong. Meetings at the support group became a new source of hope. My son's first birthday. Happy birthday, you're my everything. The candle flickers atop a small cupcake. Letters from prison still arrive monthly. Today too, they go unopened into the box. Forgiveness is still far away. Lindsay's letters of atonement go in the same box. Their apologies cannot heal this heart's wounds. The publishing project, Rebirth, gained national attention. Powerful testimonies from women liberated from control. Through these interviews, I too gradually gained the courage to look forward. Meeting with a new author. Forgiveness isn't always necessary. I nod deeply at her words. What matters is reclaiming yourself. Life on the Upper East Side now seems like a distant dream. The perfect demanded breakfasts. Strict discipline. And the cage called controlling love. Now we have freedom. My son grows healthy with just his mother's love. His smile is my everything. I also established a fund for women suffering in controlling relationships. You are not alone. That's my message. Outside the window, spring sunlight sparkles. My son laughs innocently in the sunlight. Forgiveness is still not in sight. But that's okay. Now we have hope in rebirth. The old streets of Greenwich Village. New life. And regained freedom. All of these are testimony to our new life.